How do you get your podcast to appear on iTunes, which is the biggest distributor of podcasts? It's actually rather simple, and you can see here, this is what your podcast page will look like. You can see that I have all of my podcasts, and you can see that during the title, at the very beginning of each title, I use a number, and this is just to note the title of the podcast so I can refer back to them. Sometimes I do that. Remember in episode number 20 when blah, 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 or when I'm posting online, it's good to have a number. Not necessary, but I like doing it as a series of podcasts. So how do we do this? Well, first you're going to have to go to the podcast page of iTunes. So if you don't see the podcast page, it should be in this drop-down menu over here or up here in the top left. There's a button for clicking to submit a podcast, so just click that button. It's first going to ask you to sign in with your Apple ID. So you're going to have to sign up with Apple if you don't already have one. This is the same as any Apple ID you've created for iTunes in the past, for your Apple account if you have any Apple products, or you can sign up for a new one. Once you're on your dashboard, it's actually relatively easy. You can see the podcast that I've tried submitting before, and all you have to do is click this plus button in the top left, take your feed, you're going to click validate to validate the feed, which is basically going to, iTunes looks at your feed to make sure there's episodes there. If it checks out, then you can click the submit button. And that's pretty much it. It'll take sometimes between a day or two to get live onto iTunes. Make sure that once you do that, you check all of the things like your image, your title, your description. If it's not right, you're going to have to check the information that you've submitted wherever you're hosting your podcast. Remember a couple lessons ago, we looked and saw that on Libsyn, you can go to the settings and change the title and the description and the category. That's where you're going to change that. So that's pretty much it for getting your podcast on iTunes.